Okay, people, listen. All I'm gonna say is this week's AOT episode was crazy. You have the return of one of the most popular anime series ever, introduction to new characters, controversy about the opening, controversy about the CGI, controversy about the studio change, controversy about my use of performance-enhancing drugs to turn into a Titan to win a race. Listen, there's a lot to unpack, so let's just talk about it already. Start the video, you damn boomer. Alright, so before we even begin to talk about the controversial stuff, I actually have a lot to say about the first episode itself. I, for one, thought it was pretty damn great, and I'm not gonna lie, Mappa did a great job. As a huge fan of Mappa, I got into the studio with an underrated gem in my anime of 2017, Inuyashiki. So to actually see how far they've come to being the studio behind the final season of Attack on Titan, well, I have to congratulate them, and I hope that every person in Mappa, and as well as the other people involved with outsourcing and all of that other stuff, enjoy their time with the series, because based off the first episode, they have earned their way to working on this series. Absolutely. For the story parts of this episode, I was most impressed with how they presented everything from a tone perspective. I am a big fan of that World War I to World War II era, so I liked how the series invoked a lot of those elements. It seems they went in a direction to blend many elements from the two wars, like how important the roles of armored trains played in this battle, but as well, the trench warfare elements of World War I, though obviously for entertainment purposes, they didn't show the days and days of sitting in a trench starving to death while the fear of mustard gas being used was high. Instead, we get other elements like soldiers being in shock like this one here, mountains of bodies piling up to be climbed over. Then you have the more subtle World War II elements like the Eldians being forced to wear armbands that harken back to Nazi Germany. Also little visual things like this brothers in arms scenario, Gabby strapping grenades together to create an anti-tank weapon, and the use of zeppelins. Besides the obvious use of war elements, which I'm sure I just exposed myself that I'm not an expert on, we also have Eldians. Of course, we have the big twist and revelation from season 3, but already off the first episode, you get the sense that Eldians are just worth less than dirt in this world, which is interesting as they all have this inherent ability to be able to turn into titans waiting to be activated by some serum. And you have Zeke, who is able to yell at these soldiers who probably have the titan serum injected into them and turn them into, well, weapons of war that fall from the sky. I'm not sure if that even explained my point well, but I don't know, I just feel like there is a possibility that they may have done something bad in the past. Going back to Gabby for a moment, she has a lot of interesting dialogue, and really she's quickly become one of my favorites based off episode 1. Her goal is to free everyone from the internment zone, which maybe the people who are in charge promised them freedom if they went to and won the war. Then you have her saying that she will be worthy to inherit the armored titan, and that really just makes you wonder what they're promising these soldiers, and the Eldians in general, because there is no way you can give everyone one of these powerful titan abilities. There aren't many to go around on, you know? Gabby, though, I'm just gonna say is great. On the other hand, she has a certain charm to her that doesn't waver, and she's daring. Though let's be real, maybe she's just a little crazy with that stunt she pulled, and maybe I do have an aversion to a little bit of crazy. One more thing though, it seems that the side of Marley has developed powerful weaponry that is able to rip through these titans with ease. These anti-titan weapons look very similar to anti-vehicle and anti-aerial weaponry of the World War II era, but shockingly, they're able to rip right through Reiner in his armored titan form. This makes me wonder just how important these weapons will be, as it seems Marley has a perfect counter to the titans, and that's just to blow them the fuck away with big fuck you weapons. Now, it's that time in the video to talk about the controversy surrounding the season and my take on them. The first being, yes, I am a Gabby fan. No, you cannot change my mind, and well, I have no idea what she does in the future, but that's a train wreck I'm willing to come to when I'm 6 feet underground, buddy. So about this damn opening, I've seen it a couple times now, and I honestly can't see what people's issue with this opening are. It's extremely artistic, and I enjoy everything from the visuals to the musical choice. I like the touch of having the opening washed out with this grainy filmic look, makes it look really gritty. But then you have the drops of color throughout that really fit the aesthetic of what this opening is going for. This season will be very focused on war elements, so you have the callbacks like the opening salvo against the ships, and then you have more iconic World War II and World War I imagery, like the soldier with the flamethrower, That may be more World War I. Christ, the song is called My War, and that shows right there what this opening means for this season. The lyrics are also about war, children clinging to their very last coins, which is very strong lyrical imagery, and when paired with the opening itself, man, it totally fits. So now let's talk about the switch from Wit Studio to Mappa and the use of CGI. Which, hey, I'm sorry, but I think it's quite ridiculous people complain about the CGI for this show when you have plenty of other shows that have objectively bad CGI. I feel like this is the modern equivalent of sub versus dub. You know, like, which side are you on? Are you with subs or dubs? There ain't no middle ground. It's all or nothing in this war. Of course, that whole mentality was stupid then. To many of you probably realize it, and it's stupid now. And not to mention, it's a boring conversation to even have in the first place. CGI in anime used to be bad, sure, and some of it still is. But those are exceptions and generally not the rule. Mappa is one of the best studios when it comes to CGI modeling. They're absolute masters at creating detailed CGI models. That's undeniable, at least in my opinion. Shows like Shingeki in 2017 proved that they had a way with how they use CGI. In this episode, the Armor Titan was primarily CGI, and it looked even better than the CGI Colossal Titan from the previous season, which was by Wit Studios. To me, CGI is the new boogeyman of anime that can't be accepted because it's not this certain style that's been around forever. The reality is that CGI really isn't the enemy. Bad CGI is, but even then, don't treat that like an enemy. With studios like Orange, Mappa, and even Ufotable, these studios are creating golden anime right now. So let's just appreciate what we have with how good this stuff already is. I get that many people that are saying that CGI is ruining anime aren't the same kinds of people that will sit down and watch Shingeki or any anime that's from 2010 or before. But I do think it's just a tad ridiculous we're still trying to argue CGI is ruining anime in 2020. Also, come on, guys, nothing is wrong with Mikasa's design. It's ridiculous. I'm even seeing non-stop complaints about it. People are saying things like she looks like a dude and is ugly now, like all anime characters are supposed to be this idealistic anime girl. Christ, Mikasa has like six-pack abs. I personally think Mikasa with short hair simply looks badass. Kind of like, you know, how she always looked. Because let's be real here, I don't think many of you liked Mikasa because of her hair. You probably liked her because she was a well-written character that kicks fucking ass and says Eren a lot. Now, for the people who are level-headed about this and don't enjoy her design for actual reasons, please put down in the comments below. I'd actually love to hear your thoughts on her new short hair design other than just, oh my god, she looks like a dude now. I can't have my ladies looking like dudes, even though she... Oh my, I mean, moving on from that, jeez. But you know what? That is the thing with these controversies, throwing air quotes on that. These are typically things we will probably forget about. We'll grow used to Mikasa's new design. We'll forget about the studio change because it's really hard to distinguish the differences anyways, and you won't even care about the CGI in the future. Now, if that doesn't happen, then I will be right there with you if there really is an issue with something. But this is just the first episode. We can't judge a whole piece of art off one piece of chocolate, you know? You at least got to have a couple more pieces to get your bearings, and maybe then just a couple more to make a really good, informed decision, if that makes sense. Also, this is a very popular anime that has crossed over into mainstream media. Just because of that, it's going to be compared to things like Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. Hell, I remember back in the day when it first hit with AOT, it was being compared to The Walking Dead, and look what's going on with The Walking Dead now. Nobody cares about that show. What I'm saying is to level those expectations. It's okay to be excited, but let this stuff play out a little bit more before we start saying crazy stuff like this adaptation has failed because it has CGI, even though the previous seasons had CGI. Before you leave, please stick around. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe, ring the bell if you enjoy my content, and comment your thoughts on the first episode of the final season. But most importantly, a small update for you guys. We will be covering AOT weekly from now on, with probably a couple videos a week. One on the day the new episodes come out, and one every weekday with these style of videos, more in-depth analytical styled videos. I feel like that just works better. As well, small updates on other series. We will be back with the ReZero podcast and King of Anime podcast every Monday, including in January ReZero season 2 videos and much more. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled on the community tab as we'll be revealing the anime we'll be covering on Winter 2021 King of Anime podcast podcast every single week. So, thanks everybody. Do all the stuff that I asked if you may. You don't have to. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.